The following podcast contains spoilers for a lot of stuff. Basically everything Marvel related, especially stuff post Endgame. So Eternals, Shang-Chi, Venom: Let There Be Carnage, the Spider-Man PS4 game. Basically everything Spider-Man related. We get in depth. It's a mess. Beware if you haven't watched any of those.
This episode is sponsored by Safeway's Bakery. Why is my donut stale? You're listening to Homies Inc.
Welcome to Homies Inc., the show by college students who are no longer bored in quarantine, but are now bored on their college campuses. I'm Alex.
I'm Bailey.
And I'm Alex.
Really throwing me off my game right now, man. And I had this entire plan in my head, and then you just threw it out the window.
And I'm Jesse.
And after a long hiatus, once again.
This one was shorter than the first one, though.
Well, I mean, at least it's not like a year, but we are finally back. Now on campus, out of quarantine, yet still miles apart in different states.
Yeah.
How are we feeling, boys?
Jesse, you should go first. You're the farthest.
Yeah, Jesse.
Oh, is that how that works? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
We're going by distance.
I'm doing all right, I suppose. I'm in the middle of finals week, so there's a little bit of stuff going on there. But yeah, overall, like at least I'm gonna be home in like a week. And I've at least been much more like active than last year because I couldn't really do much on campus last year. But yeah,
Epic.
Overall, things are going pretty well.
Epic.
Bailey, you're up next. How you
Yeah.
doing?
A lot better. Last time I was in Portland, it was horrific. It was agony. Sort of. It was really just like I was alone, like for 3 months, literally. Like I only talk to people over Discord. But this time, I have my own apartment. I'm living with Chanel. Like, it's pretty good, It's chill. I have a much chiller job than my last one, It's just kind of chillaxing. It's a lot better, and I'm excited because in 2 weeks I'm going home back to San Diego, and I'm excited about that.
Nice.
I'm also in finals week, but that's whatever.
Well, I'm doing pretty well. I spent Thanksgiving at home, or not at home, here in Santa Cruz by myself.
Man.
Kind of fucked up my left foot's like arch thing because I went on 13-mile walks like every day for the past week or so. And I was stupid enough to do it in my Vans and my Converse. So it really hurt to walk around on my left foot, but it is fine. I'm working through it. I'm living. Finals week coming up, not next week, but the week before that or the week after that, and then I'm home scot-free.
Nice.
I'm ready to go. And that leads us into our next topic, which is the trending story of the week. Spider-Man No Way Home tickets
Spider-Man
on sale on Spider Monday.
Spider-Man.
Previously known as Cyber. That's Sony's
because it's
term,
Cyber
Cyber Monday.
No,
So now
it's
Spider Monday.
It's Electro Monday.
No, it's not.
That doesn't make sense.
That's never gonna catch on, Jesse.
Yeah, I don't know why
Spider
they
Monday.
thought that was a good idea.
That's Jamie. It's Jamie Foxx being Jamie Foxx. Since he had a daughter, he thinks that he runs the world.
Do you think he was the one saying like, "Hey, yeah, so can you guys make it Electro Monday?" When the whole movie is a Spider-Man movie, nah.
Just because you have a cool Hans Zimmer theme doesn't make you the star of the movie, Jamie.
Wait, is Hans Zimmer doing the soundtrack?
He did the soundtrack for the Amazing Spider-Man movies, for the Andrew Garfield ones.
Okay. I thought they had him for No Way Home, and I was gonna be like, oh my god, that's amazing.
No, if they better have his same theme from the other movie though, because then that would be fan service.
That'd be pretty cool, yeah.
Because they're basically, John Watts called it the Avengers Endgame of Spider-Man Endgame, and that entire movie was fan service. Like Avengers Endgame was fan service pretty much the entire time. I would say, like, if you watched it as an MCU veteran and you went into the movie, then every bit of it was just amazing because you understood all the Easter eggs and all the references that went into it. So like if you just went into it as a casual viewer after seeing just Infinity War, then you don't really understand much of like what's going on.
I mean, I haven't seen the Spider-Man with Jamie Foxx in it. I've seen Andrew Garfield's first Spider-Man, but I haven't seen the second one. I know like I've seen pictures of Jamie Foxx's Electro, and I'm glad they changed him to this version of him because the weird blue thing looked kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then
like Dr. Manhattan.
yeah, seriously. And then the Green Goblin that wasn't Willem Dafoe. I didn't even know he was
Dane
in the
DeHaan.
movie. Yeah, I didn't even know he was in the movie because I'd never seen it, but like I'd seen pictures of him afterward, and I was like, I mean, I can tell it's Green Goblin, but it's a very bad Green Goblin. Like,
I think
because I remember I saw that shit in theaters.
I also saw that shit in theaters.
I think I was.
I hadn't seen it.
What was I like? I may have been like 13 when I saw it, and I
it
thought
didn't
it
come
was
out
like,
that long ago.
It did. It came out in
did.
2014.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah. Because it came out like almost like 7 or 8 years ago.
We're old.
Yeah.
I know.
And yeah, it was a weird movie. I'm glad that like with No Way Home they seem to kind of have like I will say I'm a little worried just about the direction in general, because so far it looks promising, but I'm just wondering how they're gonna like use these characters like returning villains, because some of them had like complete arcs in their movies. So to kind of like pull them out and then, it feels like kind of cheating to just kind of take characters from the other movies and just be like, this is mine now, and just stick them in this one. Like most of the work is kind of done for them. So I'm hoping that they don't like go back and erase stuff.
I don't think they're gonna erase stuff. I mean, specifically with Alfred Molina's Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
What I heard what he's gonna do is, or from what I've seen and what I like theorize, is that he's going to come back, but it's not going to be as a villain. Like initially it's going to be as a villain, because if you look at the glowing lights of the tentacles, it's red, which in Spider-Man 2, that's like a sign that they are in control and not Doc Ock. So it could be at the beginning that they are the in control, and they make him a villain at first, and then afterwards he becomes kind of like a twisted mentor to Peter and teaching him like everything beforehand.
I didn't know, or I didn't remember that in the second Spider-Man like he was being controlled by the arms, not the other way around. And I thought because his arms are red, that meant he was gonna somehow, I thought he was gonna like break the Iron Spider suit and use it to like enhance his arms, and so that's why they're red, because they have some of the Spider-Man tech on them. But
I think Alex, I think you mean like the red light in the
yeah.
Never mind. I need that.
I have a theory about that, but that comes in later during our third theory session of the podcast.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I thought they're red because, I mean, I guess this is a theory or speculation that it's because he's gonna break a suit, or he's somehow gonna get like Peter Parker technology and
it seems like a lot of them are gonna get Stark technology.
Because like from what it was actually kind of funny, because when I went back and watched like some stuff from like the first like the Sam Raimi trilogy, I watched the scene from it's when Peter first meets Norman Osborn, and it's kind of a throwaway.
At Thanksgiving, right?
No, that was at the field trip.
Yeah,
the
laboratory. Yeah, it's that line. It's kind of funny because before that, he says that like Peter like did a paper on like nanotech apparently.
Which read that or something.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that maybe they'll explore some other stuff. Like Doc Ock might talk about how like his like arms are like maybe he's design them to do maybe some other stuff, or like if they're able to like absorb the like Iron Spider suit, like maybe the arms will like, I don't know, infect it so that it draws it onto it or something like that.
Oh yeah, that might make sense. Because Iron
that
Spider
seems
also
nice.
has little arms.
I think that's why they're not
Yeah.
going to use the Iron Spider suit past the bridge scene, because it looks like they're using an integrated suit, which is the Far From Home suit and the Iron Spider suit like combined.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, and that's
Maybe.
that's
Oh,
what
the
makes
weird like. Yeah, I know which one you're
Yeah.
talking
with
about.
the giant gold like spider symbol
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, I think that might be. I thought that might be like a new suit, like a weird spectral suit that Doctor Strange, like, I don't know, fucking.
Oh, are you talking about the black and gold suit that he has?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
okay.
one.
I keep seeing people saying it's like the inside out suit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
What's the inside out suit?
It's
No,
the Far
it's-
From Home suit turned inside out.
No, I know. I really don't think it's inside out. I think it's like the same suit, but like the red parts have been like peeled away or removed.
Well,
So it's
that's-
not
okay.
inside out. It's just like I don't want to use the word skinned, but it's basically like has the outer
Strips.
kind of like outer layer kind of removed for some
Well,
reason. I think there was like
yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Oh no, you go.
Oh, like maybe it gets like damaged in some way and he has to like take that off to like repair it, but he still needs a suit to wear. So
Oh, so okay, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I think there was another leak on Twitter, and it was an alternate version of the first trailer without finished VFX, and there was a clip of Spider-Man tying up a thug, and it was supposed to be the cameo of Tom Holland's younger brother, Harry Holland, and it was a continuation of his cameo.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Wait,
there's his brother Harry Holland
Yeah.
does a cameo as a thug in Spider-Man No Way Home to continue his
Oh, really?
cameo. Yeah, to continue his cameo from Cherry, another Tom Holland film from like earlier this year, and he plays the
Oh,
same
I've
character.
never
And
seen
there's a Mysterio believer that throws green paint on him,
Oh yeah.
and then he has to turn his suit inside out, and that's what leaves the wires exposed and everything. Because in
Mm.
Spider-Man Homecoming,
That makes sense.
they like have the inner layer
it's
of
the same pattern.
yeah, it's the inner layer with all the wires out.
Yeah.
And it's the same.
I just don't think it's like quite inside out, just because like the eyes are like on the outside, because like how would those look if they were like, you know, flipped like inside out? I feel
That
I
is
just
true.
feel like it is like the red
peel-
parts
the
are
red
like
peeling is off?
removed. Yeah, because I thought I saw like early promotional stuff. The suit has like the red fingers to it, but I guess it doesn't anymore. For some
Oh,
reason.
maybe
I
it
slightly
doesn't
remember
'cause of
that
the-
too, but
Maybe it doesn't
Yeah.
because of the lighting. Oh wait, no, but there's a shot of him in Feast, possibly after
Yeah.
he battles Lizard, and he has
Yeah.
like, doesn't he battle Lizard in that suit? That's why he has like the
I
claws.
we have no
know,
clue.
dude. I haven't
Well, that's
seen
like
it
that's a
yet,
theory that
Alex.
people have, because there was the
Yeah.
teaser of like him running through Feast frantically, and it's like he has claw marks on his chest,
Mhm.
kind of like Andrew Garfield after battling Lizard in the subway.
Yeah.
Oh
Or
wait,
the-
hold
not
on.
in the subway, in the
hold on.
sewer.
That reminds me, we were gonna talk about who the sixth Sinister Six member, but
There's not gonna be one.
there's not gonna. Well, like how? Okay, let's take a
I'm
roll
just-
call
Well,
of
like,
everyone
if-
of all the villains that are gonna be here. We know
Okay.
Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is gonna show up because he's in the
Okay.
trailer all the time.
Yeah,
Willem Dafoe is Green Goblin. He
Yes.
talked in the trailer. We
Yeah.
have Jamie
Foxx as Electro.
Hendricks as Electro.
Yeah. Thomas
Lizard.
Hayden Church as Sandman and
As
Rice
Sandman.
Ifans as Lizard.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's 5, huh? I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I mean,
I don't
You-
think there's gonna. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think there's gonna. The reason I don't think there's gonna be a sixth villain is because
there's too
The
many
way that-
already.
well, that, but also the fact that like I think the way it's going to kind of work, I think the way that it's going to be structured is like Doc Ock is kind of be sort of on his own. Like he's
Mhm.
gonna fight Peter, and he like, because in the trailer we kind of see that like what looks like Electro shooting lightning at Doc Ock. So maybe
Uh-huh.
there is a bit of like his like redemption kind of worked in from like Spider-Man 2. I think Green Goblin is gonna just be a wild card.
Mhm.
Like I think he's just gonna be like on his
Oh,
own.
dude.
And I think
I'm
that,
so excited about Green Goblin though, as
yeah.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, Green Goblin as Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe
and,
is just a mask that Green Goblin wears
Yeah.
in real life.
Yeah.
Norman
takes it
Osborn
off
is the
and-
actual guy.
Yeah, he takes it off, and it's just the prototype mask from the first Spider-Man. But yeah, and I think Electro, Sandman, and Lizard are gonna kind of maybe they'll team up like we kind of see in the trailer. Like I just think the way it's like set up, I don't really see there being a sixth one at this point, just because like they already have a lot of the villains, and as much because because Sony's wanted to do a Sinister Six for like 8 years now. They wanted to do it back in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they didn't.
Right.
I'm glad they didn't. And
God.
I feel like they might even just be setting up like Sinister Six stuff with their own movies, like their own like solo movies.
Oh,
So
like
maybe-
with Venom and Morbius.
Oh no, they're doing
Jesus.
Craven the Hunter too.
yeah, they're doing Craven. And yeah, with like Morbius, maybe they'll do some more stuff with Vulture.
I don't know.
Because yeah, they like something like that a lot of people haven't really like brought up with the marketing of No Way Home is the fact that like just thinking about how the movie is like being put together, or like everything that's like kind of led up to it. I can't help but come back to the idea that this movie was never the original plan.
Yeah.
Really? That would
Absolutely no, absolutely not. No, because they were always because back in Homecoming, they were clearly showing signs that they wanted to do the Sinister Six like organically, like build it up over time.
Oh, right, because they had Mac Gargan.
Yeah, they had Scorpion.
Shocker.
Like they wouldn't have like it wouldn't even be much of a big deal if the dude literally didn't have a scorpion tattoo on his neck. So it was obvious that they were going to do something with him. But I mean, I'm glad that they are doing this movie, at least at this point I am. I still want to see how the movie turns out because there's so many villains. And I'm glad that there are like the returning actors. I think it is a really big opportunity that they're taking. But it's kind of a shame that they aren't gonna follow up on something that they clearly had at least an idea of early on. Because
what they could do, I know Tom Holland said in an interview that if he's still doing Spider-Man after he's 30, then there's something wrong. There are a lot of people talking about how if Tom Holland did a sequel trilogy, like it would be because they're not doing a Spider-Man like 4 that would be tied to the Homecoming trilogy, because this one is the end of the Homecoming trilogy. Like it feels like the end of an era for Spider-Man. And I feel like if they did it, it would be him in his college years, where they could do like Black Cat. They could do
my god.
They could do Mac Gargan. They could do Mac Gargan. That's Scorpion.
Oh,
Scorpion. They could do at that point. They could probably do Venom because of the whole Let There Be Carnage.
Because I've thought about
that's a spoiler.
I'm putting a spoiler note. I'm putting a spoiler.
We're talking about
at the beginning.
a lot of Spider-Man stuff. So
and I'm doing spider leaks.
You literally have to put a disclaimer at the beginning.
I'm putting a disclaimer. I am putting a disclaimer at the beginning.
But yeah, because I've actually thought about like potential villains they could use like for future stuff. Like because there are still like quite a few they could use. If they wanted to take a similar route as like the PS4 game, something like Mr. Negative, or like with like Black Cat, or
they could do Kingpin.
Kingpin. Or they could do some maybe Hammerhead. I mean, I feel like it's better. I'll be honest. I think it is better for marketing if they use villains that like people recognize and really want to see. Like, I don't really know anyone whose favorite Spider-Man villain is Hammerhead.
I don't even know who that is.
I didn't even know that
villain
person was
in the
a
game.
thing.
In the DLC.
Oh yeah, Hammerhead. Yeah, it was. Never mind. I thought I was thinking of a shark.
Oh, so then I have a right to not to know because I've never played the game.
They could maybe do something with like Hobgoblin, or
I think they should
like
do Hobgoblin.
Prowler maybe.
But if they did Hobgoblin, it would have to be Ned, because that is the Ned. The Hobgoblin is Ned Leeds.
Okay, I've been through this. I've gone
Okay,
through
but
this
not-
so many
not like-
times.
I don't think it's gonna be like then. I don't feel like it could be.
He was
in this
Hobgoblin
movie,
once in the comics, is the thing.
but
and
I feel like
that's something
if
people
they
have
if
latched
they did it,
onto.
I feel like if they did it, it would have to be like him and Peter grew apart after high school
No,
or something.
I don't
maybe.
think that like doing that. Because thing is, I
yeah.
don't think I could take him seriously. Is the thing as a
Yeah,
villain,
especially after
he's not
from
even-
from
he's
Far
only-
From Home, that
Yeah.
whole thing, the whole text conversation between him
Right.
and that one
Yeah.
lady.
Because I
Yeah.
couldn't
Oh,
see him
right.
as a villain. Like, because in the comics, he's only Hobgoblin one time.
Well, who's the
Literally
other
every other
Hobgoblin?
time, it's Roderick Kingsley.
Who?
Roger Kingsley. He's a character he's used in a lot of different ways, but one of the iterations I've seen is he's kind of like he's done some kind of like underground collaborations with people like Tombstone and Kingpin.
Mhm.
So they could use that character in the future.
Right.
Because I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Not everyone knows who Roderick Kingsley is. So
I don't know, yeah.
yeah.
I legit
so
thought you were
that
talking
could
about the
be-
Diary of a Wimpy Kid sibling. That's
Yeah,
what
he's
first came to
Hobgoblin.
mind was
Oh
Devin
my
Bostick
God.
as Hobgoblin.
Yeah. But yeah, they could
I don't
use
know.
like they could use what's the name of the villain from the Spider-Man play? Swiss Miss. They could use Swiss Miss.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my God.
Please, no.
No,
I can't
not
do
from
Swiss Miss.
Spider-Man Turn Off the
Turn
Dark.
off the dark.
No,
Yeah.
that's a stupid musical. It's not canon in any Spider-Man. It's
It does
hideous.
have its own Earth though. According
own
to the
what?
according to the Marvel database fandom, there is an Earth
With
that
the fucking
that is
oh my
Spider-Man Turn Off the
God.
Dark. It is Earth.
Oh
Let me look
my
it up because I remember I
God.
have it.
No, I don't even want to
saved.
know.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. Marvel.
They could actually no wait. They should probably
database.
stay as far away as possible.
Here it is. Earth. It is Earth 11714.
Well, remind me never to go there.
It is
Avoid at all
the
costs.
Sinister Six is Green Goblin, Carnage, Electro, Craven the Hunter, Lizard, and Swiss Miss.
Yeah,
That's
no,
such
we
a
don't.
weird lineup.
Yeah, no,
It's just
no,
I
nah.
never understood why they need. So I don't understand why Swiss Miss was a thing.
Yeah.
like, did
We
they
tried
really-
looking it up. We're
They have,
pretty
like-
sure she was made for.
She was made for
like,
the
play.
for the play.
Yeah,
Like there
Yeah.
is no other that
I
story.
swear to God, if they're like if at one point like Peter and like MJ and Ned are like drinking like Swiss Miss.
Oh,
like,
shut up!
Like hot
No.
chocolate.
No.
I'm
I'm
done.
gonna-
I'm
gonna
turning off.
point-
I'm leaving
I'm gonna
the theater.
point that out in the theater. I'm gonna be like, it's like the Leonardo
With
DiCaprio
all
meme,
of us.
just like.
I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna head out. Like I can't do this anymore. If that's what's gonna happen, I don't care if Toby and Andrew come in like
We're just
literally
leaving.
right after I leave. If there's a Swiss Miss drink, chocolate, or any product placement, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. If they even somehow manage to reference Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, if they even say turn off the dark once in the movie, not consecutively, but like in random places, I'm going to play a bingo card and I'm going to have to write down turn off the dark and I'm going to check off turn
Oh
off
my
the, and when they
God.
place dark, I'm leaving.
No.
I'm leaving the theater.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, this future at least of Spider-Man seems a little uncertain just because
Yeah.
like even I think
And-
if they wanted to and they did some college thing,
Yeah.
like I don't know, I think it'd be one movie tops and then
Yeah.
maybe he would show up again in some sort of like whatever because I mean I could go on about how like Marvel right now is so like thrown in so many different directions right now.
Yeah. Because the thing is though, with if Tom Holland doesn't do any more Spider-Man movies in the future, I
Miles
think that
Morales.
would be a huge missed opportunity. I can already see Bailey's face. He has a lot to say about Miles Morales. And
I love
MCU.
Miles, but
no, yeah. But I think it would be kind of a missed opportunity for him to not be a part of the MCU in the future, just because like I'll be honest, for a while now, I've really wanted to see. Like I've always thought that the main or like front characters of the MCU like moving forward would be Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Loki. I've always thought that like those four would be like
Falcon
the
and
next
the Winter Soldier are crying, punching the air right now.
and
they'd be
Hawkeye
part of
too.
it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Hawkeye's
at
done,
least
dude.
I mean,
After
like
this
I
TV show,
could
he's
see them.
retired.
Well,
I
yeah,
could
'cause
see
Kate
those
Bishop's
four
gonna
in
show up.
particular. Well, here's the thing. I
Whatever.
could see those four in particular being the front characters for like the multiverse.
Wait, which four? Which
conflicts and
four?
everything.
Loki,
Spider-Man, Loki, Scarlet Witch, and Doctor Strange.
That makes
yeah.
sense.
See, that makes sense. But okay,
Yeah.
like
Because like
I
Falcon and Winter Soldier, they're chilling on the boat. They don't need to worry about
they don't need to
multiverse stuff
worry
yet.
about anything. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of categorized like there's kind of three major plots of Marvel right now.
Yeah.
Because like we have what's going on Earth, which is just like Bucky, Captain America, and there's someone else. Hawkeye,
Yeah.
they're chilling down there. They also have the Jessica Rambo or Monica Rambo
Oh, right.
because she has powers now from the end
Yeah.
of WandaVision.
WandaVision.
And then like
Well, yeah, she's working at
That's-
Sword now.
yeah, and like there's all
Mhm.
that stuff going on, and like Black Widow's younger sister and American Patriot, like those guys are still on Earth just chilling right now. And then we
put
have the
so
whole
many-
multiverse
You gotta put
conflict.
so many spoiler disclaimers at the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah,
We're gonna literally have to put
whatever.
every disclaimer for
Spoilers
every
for
Marvel thing.
everything
Yeah.
Marvel related post Endgame.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
feel
then,
like
but then like so we have the multiverse stuff, which is Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and Wanda is gonna do something because she wants to get her fucking kids back.
Yeah.
And Kang the Conqueror and Loki, and then we have
Oh,
you guys
God,
haven't
yeah.
seen Eternals, have you?
I saw it.
I haven't yet.
Okay, well, I mean, I won't spoil anything, but
movie's
like
ass.
then we have the what? I thought it was all right, but
I-
whatever.
Yeah.
We have the Eternals, which are like venturing into space, and then we
Right.
have like Kit Harington getting ready to do his thing. Like I
And then Blade.
don't think
Blade was
I don't
in
know
the
what
end.
you're talking
Blade
about.
was at the end. Blade was the voice in the post credits scene.
I don't believe that, but
Hey,
whatever.
Chloe Zhao confirmed it.
I don't know who that is.
She was the
Thanks.
director
Thanks,
of
Alex.
You just
Eternals.
spoiled it. You just spoiled it for Jesse.
No, there wasn't like multiple articles about it on
Well, Jesse
multiple
should have
magazines.
whatever. Either way,
I
we have-
know that they're doing Blade in the future. I've heard. I think like in a like group chat, like someone mentioned it, and then but yeah, Bailey, you said that like
I was
there
like,
wasn't any like
there
on
wasn't
screen
because I
appearance
didn't
or anything.
Yeah, and I didn't know. Like I don't know.
There's
Whatever.
just little to
Either
no
way,
spoilers.
either way, Marvel
many
is so
disclaimers.
like split right now, and we're like just at the head of the whole Spider-Man thing, when we have like 50 million other things that are gonna come afterward. Because like I'm assuming Marvel's gonna follow the same like formula of
Mhm.
like 3 Avengers movies having with like 3 movies to define and like
Mhm.
I don't know, just make character development for the new Avengers or whatever,
Yeah.
like there'll be 3 or yeah, there'll be a movie for each person after like in break of Avengers. And then eventually there's going to be the big bad guy, because last time it was Thanos, but this time, like, is it Kang? Is it going to be Galactus? Because the Eternals is, going out into space. We also don't even know what the fucking Guardians are doing. The Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy and Thor are out in space, like fucking.
Oh, what's his
hanging
face?
out.
Something the God Butcher.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah,
He's
for,
played by Christian Bale.
Yeah, they cast
What?
him. I think
Yeah,
they
Christian Bale's
cast
in the
Christian
MCU
Bale
now.
as someone. I think his name
Gore
is
the God Butcher.
yeah.
Who the hell is that? But
He's-
see,
he's
already that's
this-
just another thing. That's another thing, and it's so like spread out right now. I'm like, if anyone's trying to get into this, what do they watch? Do they watch just the movies? Do they watch just the TV shows? Do they watch the movies and some TV shows? Do they watch all of it? Like,
See, that's
so much.
That's the problem with Marvel now. Like, I love Marvel movies, as both of you know. I'm a big Marvel
Yeah.
fan. Like, we're all big Marvel
Yeah,
fans.
we enjoy
The
it. It's
problem
just
is-
so much.
Is that with like the problem with the way that they're moving on with the stories is that post Endgame there were Tony's thing.
Nuts?
He's done. Like,
Tony's nuts.
Thor is off in space. Black Widow,
Is
her
dead.
character is done. She's dead. Captain
So
America
many
got his
disclaimers.
perfect ending. He's done. He
Guy
left
is
his
retired.
like the only stories that they really had going off was like Captain America's shield, Thor going into space with the Guardians of the Galaxy looking for Gamora, and then Iron Man, like his legacy. Like those were really the only 3 storylines that were happening. And then once WandaVision came out, then there was Wanda looking for her kids. Then Shang-Chi came out, and it's like, what is with Shang-Chi's like beacon? What?
Oh yeah,
what,
see,
like,
what is that calling? Is that
what is it calling?
Is that
like,
Kang or
is
is
it
that
calling
Galactus?
the McLuhans?
Is it a
Like,
celestial? Is it
yeah?
You know,
and then
it's so much.
And then
There's
after
too many.
Far From Home, it was like, what's going on at Sword? Like, how long has the Skrulls been on Earth? And then it led to Mysterio, like the whole Spider-Man No Way Home. And then Eternals has this whole thing. And then Hawkeye's like, aren't we bringing in what's her face?
Echo.
Echo.
Who the hell is Echo, bro? I know she's
Kingpin's
deaf,
adoptive daughter.
Kingpin's adopted daughter. Okay.
And then they could be
well,
like,
the
oh,
MCU
then they
Kingpin
have
is really
so many disclaimers.
Then they have options for Daredevil, and then they're like, okay, sure. And then they have like She-Hulk and Moon Knight, and then they have Peter's origin story and Armor Wars. And it's just, there's so many
much. And it's like, get rid of Armor Wars. It's not like it's gonna be just like an anthology thing, right? Of just like
Armor Wars.
Iron Man
it's
stuff?
it's like Iron Man's. It's a story about Iron Man's armor getting into the wrong hands.
See, but it's okay. I don't know. It's just like there's so much, and they need to cut down. We do not need an Agatha spin-off series.
Oh, we absolutely don't need an Agatha.
And we don't need an Echo one.
Or Agatha Harkness.
Well, no, we need an Echo. An Echo one could be a way to bring in Daredevil.
No, they can. No, Echo, Kingpin maybe, but they can just do that with the Hawkeye one because she's gonna be the main villain. They can just show, Echo's Kingpin's adopted daughter. Throw in the Kingpin from Daredevil. Yeah, neither did I. I learned that today.
But another story that they have going on is the Thunderbolts, because now they have.
The Thunderbolts.
They have.
Okay. Well, the Thunderbolts are just kind of a loose idea at this point. They're there.
Why
is
she collecting all these? She's collecting Yelena Belova. She collected Johnny Walker.
The fucking
Seinfeld lady. The Seinfeld lady.
That feels like more of an idea. Like that feels more like a long game. Like storyline,
but it's like it's another loose thread, and they have
there's
so
too many
threads. My point was, it's hard for new people to come into the MCU without watching anything prior.
That's absolutely true.
So here's the thing: it's kind of like how in Loki, it was like, we go on like the sacred timeline, the one path. We don't want it to branch off into all these other paths. That is what Marvel is doing.
Well, that's what we'll know, because Sylvia was like, I never got a childhood, so now I'm gonna break the entirety of the multiverse, because I'm just like, at this point I'm like, if this is all the blame because Sylvia can't comprehend or get past her childhood trauma, then god damn it, Sylvie, whatever the hell your name is.
It's something.
You kissed yourself technically when you and Loki kissed. Like, what the fuck, dude? If I found a female version of myself from another universe, I would not be kissing it. Like, what the hell?
I just think
I would be locking lips.
The problem with the MCU show, like the ones that we've seen so far, I've absolutely loved.
Yeah, they're good.
I don't think there's any, like, the only one that I had some like lull with was What If, because it was like an anthology.
Some What If ones I was like, whatever.
It was like, it's canon, but it's not like it's canon, but it's weirdly canon. I just think that the way that they're doing it now, that they're promoting, like, they have a whole list of movies coming out, probably like 10 in phase 4, and they have an additional 12 shows.
Like, remember the days when there were only like 5? They only announced like 5 projects, and
it's like,
it's like two a year.
That was good. That was enough. Now they're just like, because I mean, luckily they have the resources for it. It's like Disney has the money to really shell all these out. But the thing is, like,
I just think
that's cool. But now
it's gonna be a
the
burnout.
supply is
Like,
is beating the demand. We are no
exactly.
longer asking for more shows. We're happy with the amount they're giving us, but they're just like, here, have more. You want?
Yeah, but they
It's
haven't
like
even,
at this
they-
point
like
they're
because
gonna.
like they saw that like 15% of WandaVision fans were like, make an Agatha Harkness show, and
They're like, well,
they
we have the money
caved.
to. Why not?
why? Yeah, but like
There's
now,
no
It's like,
point.
it's like,
now the problem is that they have, okay, but the good thing, the one good thing that they have for them is the fact that most of these don't have an announced date. Like
so they
Yeah.
might get
But
shut
still,
down.
like the ones that come out recently, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, the Marvels, like they all have released, like the movies.
See also
all
what Miss
pretty much,
Marvel's doing. I guess they'll show us.
they
that
they
in the
mostly
show.
have release dates for
Yeah.
like this year, next year, and 2023. So that means that everything else past that, which is like Armor Wars, Fantastic Four, Blade, like everything else is set up for later. But people are asking for more. They're asking like, we want X-Men in the MCU.
No, like we
we
don't. We have too much already.
Like, we already
Yeah.
like people. I saw people theorizing that the X-Men were coming in No Way Home because it was on the Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, and in the first
bro.
X-Men, they fought on the Statue of Liberty, and they're like, this can't be coincidence. Like this, they have to come into the MCU. I'm like, no.
Why? Because it's new, because it's New York. Do you know how many Marvel projects
They
take place
are
in
in
New
New
York?
York.
Literally pretty much every single Phase 1 project took place
Yeah.
in New York.
I think everyone in the MCU who lives in New York is just like, God damn it with this again.
Yeah.
I don't know why New York
actually,
hasn't been like considered a war zone at this point.
yeah. Speaking
Everyone's
of
just used to it.
speaking of New York, I can tell you one part of the Spider-Man franchise I'm really excited for is the fucking video game that's coming out
Ooh.
in like 2 years or whatever.
Yeah, 2 years from now.
Seriously, it's like, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, because that game story from
oh
what
my
I've
God,
seen
it's
is
perfect. I
very well
love it.
thought out. Because
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
that-
Insomniac does an amazing job. I played
Everything
the
is- yeah.
entirety of the first Spider-Man and all the DLC, and all the DLC is its own campaign basically.
Mhm.
Like the first Spider-Man, we're introduced to Spider-Man like just kind of doing his thing. He's an older Spider-Man. He's doing his own. He's been doing his stuff for a while. Like he talks about
Yeah.
past fights
Mhm.
with like Vulture and all these other guys, and then he's working with Doc Ock like before he does, and it's like
Yeah.
revealed that Doc Ock has some like muscle disease that like will leave his brain fine, but his body will deteriorate, and so that's what drives him to be like, I need the metal arms. And so then, and he hates Norman Osborn because like they inadvertently created Mr. Negative because like I guess Mr. Negative's family line is cursed by a demon.
Mhm.
And the one we see in the game is the the most recent one, and they tried to like cure him, but it only, I think, either made it worse or didn't do anything at all. And so, and yeah, I don't know, it does a good job of tying in these like characters because they all talk to Pete like they're old friends, because they kind of are. I mean, they just hit each other and
Mhm.
stuff. But like the video game is really good. The way it handled Miles Morales was really good too. They introduce him in the first game, and then he gets his own standalone game.
Mhm.
My only gripe with the video game is the MJ in the video game is annoying, and I hate her. She like, yeah.
Well,
like,
it's the same thing with Kirsten Dunst.
I don't know who that is, but
MJ in the same
in the
Raimi.
Sam Raimi movies.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, because like in the game, like when you started the game, it's like like they've broken up and they're like weird, awkward friends, and then throughout they get back together eventually, but she reveals that they broke up because she wanted to save him. And I'm like, okay, so are you stronger than Spider-Man? Are you somehow some stronger superhero that can somehow save Spider-Man?
Wasn't that also the problem with MJ
then
in Spider-Verse?
I don't fucking find it. No. Well, what in Spider-Verse? No, they just wanted
No.
kids. They had like a whole marital conflict about whether or not to have
Yeah.
kids because he's a
Oh.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But like in the video game, she's just like, I wanted to save you for once. And I'm like, okay, cool. So are you stronger than Spider-Man? are you like Iron Man? Are you like Captain America? Are you in some way stronger than Spider-Man? Because if you aren't, how the fuck are you gonna save Peter Parker? And I was like, that's stupid. And in the same game, Black Cat is all over him, and it's obvious she has feelings for him. And it's like, why be with this busted up MJ when Black Cat in the video game is A, hotter, and B, doesn't make up bullshit reasons.
Chanel better watch out. Chanel better watch out. Black Cat's
She
on
gave
the
me a
move.
look.
Black
She
Cat's on the
gave me a
prowl.
look. But no,
She just looks at you like, Bailey.
yeah, but
You
no,
wanna explain
like
yourself?
I don't know. They really needed to. I hate that MJ. That's the only poor part about the writing is MJ sucks.
You're very
And-
passionate about this.
Yeah, well, because I'm like my boy Pete. Like in the game, he talks about how he's like, I don't feel like I'm enough. He's like, I don't feel like I'm enough. I don't know if I can stop them. There's 6 of them this time. This is the first instance of the Sinister Six in his universe, and he's like, I don't know if I can do it. And he's torn because like he really liked Doc Ock. Like he was his friend, and they were gonna save the world, change the world together. And in the end, like Doc Ock betrays him, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's something that I really enjoy about Spider-Man. There was a at the fan event that they did for the trailer, there was someone who
Oh,
asked
yeah,
the
yeah,
question, what is your favorite like characteristic about Peter Parker or about Spider-Man? And Tom Holland answered Peter Parker. And he's like, his superpower is not his web slinging, is everything else. It's Peter Parker is his superpower, because it's just like his ability to be humble and always do the right thing. Like he has a moral compass. Like he will put others before himself. And that is the big part about being a superhero, is putting others before yourself and taking the sacrifice, making the sacrificial play. And Spider-Man will always be the person to make the sacrificial play. Like in Civil War, he released his like identity in One
Civil
More Day.
War?
And so in the comics.
Oh, and then I was like, in the movie, he didn't.
Oh, no,
he only told
no.
Tony, because Tony literally like showed up with like CCTV footage of his bedroom, like, hey, so you look like Spider-Man. But I've never.
But then in One More Day, he gives up his marriage to save Aunt May, who's like 1,000,000 years old.
In the video game, like Doc Ock releases this like disease, or like it's supposed to cure genetic diseases, but it does the opposite, where it just like tears up the human body. And
So,
Aunt
lizard.
May, kind of, but it doesn't turn you into a lizard.
Yeah.
And Aunt May gets it, and in the end, like Peter has the first dose of the cure, but if he uses it on Aunt May, he can't save the rest of the city. And so he has to let his aunt die. And she knew he was Spider-Man the whole time. At the end of the game, she's like, I want to see my nephew. And he's like, oh my God. And he's like choking, like sobbing, like, oh my God. And I was like, holy shit. Like he really would, like, he let his aunt die so that he could save the rest of the city and all that stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It's a real well-written character.
That's what I hope Tom Holland learns at the end of like this movie. Because there's a lot of the criticism for the MCU Spider-Man movies is that there are no like stakes, that he really doesn't have much of a conflict, or that
why do they want
What do you mean?
not like there are no like big consequences to whatever is going on. And
I would
like
say
I disagree with it.
Yeah, I would
But
disagree.
But I feel like this movie will really shut them up.
Because
of the fact that like
the multiverse.
he learns that the point of being Spider-Man is that the other two of them learned, that Andrew Garfield learned after losing Gwen Stacy, and what Tobey Maguire learned after giving up the identity of Spider-Man, is that Peter Parker has to lose for Spider-Man to win. Like that is the whole point, is that there cannot be Peter Parker and Spider-Man. There has to be one or the other. And that's what he's going to learn, and that's the consequences of his actions is going to be taught in this movie, and that will shut up everyone else.
I don't know. I think that too. I mean, Homecoming, he isn't that big of a threat because the Vulture was already doing stuff. Yeah,
it's kind of small scale, but it's also still like grounded in its own.
Because the Vulture was doing stuff before even Pete was a thing, like he took the technology and was doing his Vulture stuff before Peter started doing his thing. And then Far From Home, obviously Jake Gyllenhaal would have just kept going if he defeated Pete or whatever.
Mhm.
And Jake Gyllenhaal actually isn't dead in the MCU. He is an actor, so it would make sense that he would play dead because he knew Pete would just be like whatever, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, but other than that, yeah. Back to the video game. They keep
Yep.
teasing fucking Norman Osborn's kid. They teased it at the end of the first game. They teased it at the end of Miles Morales, and I want to say he's probably going to be Venom in the second game if it ever
Harry
comes out.
Osborn as Venom?
Well, yeah, because like so he has a genetic disease. That's why Oscorp tried to make a cure for genetic diseases,
Mhm.
and so
Wouldn't that just make him Green Goblin?
Harry, I don't know. But Harry told his friends like, "Hey, I'm going to like a foreign school. I'll be back after." And they're like, "Damn, we'll miss
Yeah.
you." But in reality, Norman put him in this green goop to like preserve him so that like he
Right.
gives him time to find out a cure. But I have a feeling that either that in the second game, well, they have Kraven the Hunter narrating it, so I'm assuming he's gonna hunt Venom. But
Mhm.
Or he'll
they're gonna
hunt
they
the two
have
I
to.
thought he
Spider-Man.
was gonna hunt
Yeah,
the
or
Spider-Man.
hunt the two Spider-Man. He'll hunt all three of them probably, but whatever. He they've been teasing Norman Osborn like since the first game. So in this second game, he has to finally be Green Goblin.
Mhm.
And then
Well,
why? What? They can't delay it any longer. There can't be a third game. I mean, there probably
There
will be a third
can.
game.
That's the
But
thing.
I
It's
can't.
like
I want Green
I
Goblin
think-
now.
no, yeah, I think that they absolutely, I think they absolutely would do Green Goblin in like this or a later game, but just based on how they're doing like if there's going to be Craven as a main antagonist and
Venom is going to be a
Venom as
playable
main,
character. They
I think
cannot
that's
fucking
enough because if they have
put it.
others,
What?
hold on,
No, they don't
no,
have Big
no,
Wheel. They
hold
don't
on,
have Big
Bailey,
Wheel.
Bailey,
They talk about Mysterio. He's
Big
dominated.
Wheel.
Bailey, shut. They are gonna throw in some like other like smaller villains on the side, like
Taskmaster using the first one. He has to show up in this one because
Yeah,
he
okay.
just leaves.
That's what I'm trying to get across, Bailey. That Venom and Craven are enough as the two main villains.
characters.
There
Okay,
can be
but
smaller side villains.
Venom isn't
Like they
going to
can
be a
throw
main
in.
villain. He's obviously going to be a playable character because you cannot put fucking Venom in the teaser trailer of the second Spider-Man game and be like, yeah, so you're not going to play as him because like, yeah,
I mean, you'll probably get the black suit in the game.
No. You better play as Venom the symbiote, not as just Peter in a black suit. Because I can play Peter in a black suit in the other game. He has plenty of different suits. But
you know, what's funny?
what?
People are theorizing that Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to get the symbiote suit in the post-credit scene of
No.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
But how their contract ended? I think
No, but like
the
it's
Sony
because
Marvel
people are like, it's the post-credit scene for a reason.
they can just do whatever. Oh, whatever.
And I'm like,
no, shut
the
up.
thing-
No,
Jesse
they're
and I were
not.
talking about it the other day, and
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with his statement that Peter Parker, the reason why he gets the symbiote suit is because he's at the lowest of the low, and he's vulnerable, which makes him vulnerable to the symbiote suit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I feel like if there is
after
nothing
this-
wrong with like if Peter Parker goes back to being like a happy-go-lucky person, then there's no reason for the symbiote suit to be a thing. Because
But
why
at
would
least
he?
there's not really like a like story wise that it would feel jarring for him to kind of go through this arc and feel like he's like been like complete, like he's back to kind of his like more like upbeat kind of more positive nature, and then to like switch it with the symbiote. I mean, like that. I don't know. There might be a way to do it, but I don't really see it happening just because like it would.
Feels
Like
too cluttered.
Venom himself as a villain would need its own like movie. Like they can't do what they did with Spider-Man 3 and have him like show up in the last like 20 minutes of the film. Like he's got to be like the main villain throughout like the movie. Like whether that's Tom gets the suit, like gets rid of it maybe like halfway through the film, and then Venom is the villain at that point. But yeah, people have been saying that like they would want something like they would want Venom as like the sixth villain in No Way Home, and I'm like,
No.
absolutely not. That's
too many.
It's a
And also-
terrible decision because having him compete with, because you can from the marketing, Electro, Green Goblin, and Doc Ock are like the big three.
Yeah.
Throwing in Venom to don't. That would completely just shake the focus of the villains.
Because Venom at the post-credit scene was just fun. I thought it was just supposed to be like a funny haha.
Yeah, I think so too.
I didn't think it was supposed to set up anything.
I think they'll show him like in as like a 3-second thing in the movie where they'll see each other and be like, what, you know, and then something will happen and move on, you know.
Or maybe like maybe in the post-credit scene he shows up and he's like looking for Peter Parker or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But like at the very most, I feel like it's going to be a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he won't get the suit. It'll just be.
I would be okay with him in a post-credit scene if it's done well, because like it's a very because I've seen there's been a lot of debate over how Venom is portrayed in the movies, because Venom is, I'll be honest, I kind of like how in the movies, I think that if the writing was better, it would work a whole lot better, because Venom, I think, can work as not comic relief, but as a more like, he doesn't always have to be just like a monstrous like animal and that's like what people mostly see him as, but I think he also works perfectly fine as kind of a like with him and Peter having sort of like a good cop bad cop dynamic where there's sort of a comedic approach to it, but not with a like throwing one-liners like back and forth. Like I think that they could have an interesting dynamic, because I cannot see Tom Hardy's Venom having beef with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Like he's a kid. Like are you gonna like have like that? I just can't see that really playing out.
Maybe when he's in college or something, maybe it'll make it a little easier because they're both adults.
Yeah. If they
like at this stage, then it just doesn't make any sense.
You know what I could see? I could see in the future them interacting and Venom like taking like full control, like not letting like Eddie like control him. He's like Venom just goes full ape brain and tries to fight Spider-Man, and then Eddie like takes control and he's just like, no, we do not eat him. Like that's something he would say. And then maybe they could have time to just kind of like talk about what it means to be like a superhero in that world, because Venom seems to kind of be on like a sort of anti-hero path, but if Spider-Man has had like a full arc by that point, he could be the perfect one to actually guide him, because even then he could could be how Venom gets the white spider symbol, like kind of taking
because then that'd be awesome. Okay, I can get down with that.
Yeah, because if it's the two of them maybe fighting against some other villain, or maybe because I could see them if they were
like
marketing
Mysterio,
this kind of
maybe.
Movie. Yeah,
because he's not dead.
If they have it so it's like, maybe I could honestly see them marketing it as like Spider-Man versus Venom or something for a majority of the like trailers or whatever, if they do that in the future. But the actual thing would be them having more of a like,
so basically a Godzilla versus
dynamic.
King Kong scenario where it's like obviously they're gonna have a few fights, because you can't make a Spider-Man versus Venom movie without having a few Spider-Man versus Venom
scenes.
Yeah, you have
or
to
like Batman
be
versus Superman,
because that's what
it's garbage, but whatever. Same thing.
Godzilla
in
versus
the
King
end,
Kong was garbage. Like
no, it was amazing.
Because I was just gonna say that like
it was amazing garbage.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Because what people. Okay, here's the thing. What people say they want is they want like a full movie of Spider-Man fighting
People
Venom.
don't know what
that's
they
not.
want.
That's not what they want. They want to see like
Wait, did you
Spider-Man
say Spider-Man fighting Batman?
Venom. I said.
Oh,
Venom,
I thought you said Batman.
Batman.
I was like, Spider-Man
Avengers
fighting
versus
Batman.
the Justice League.
What would make? Oh my god. Jesus.
I want it now. I want it now.
Okay.
Kevin Feige wish list.
What's the name of the girl who sings the "I Want It Now" song from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Veruca Salt.
Veruca, yeah. I'm thinking of it. I thought Violet Beauregard. That's the wrong
one
kid.
that turns
No,
into
that's the
Blueberry.
Blueberry.
Yeah.
Speaking of blueberries,
way off topic. No, Bailey.
No.
But yeah, so I was thinking that a movie about like Spider-Man and Venom having more of a like sort of like team dynamic where he's trying to kind of like keep Venom in check and make sure he doesn't like kill anyone. He's just like that is not how you be a like superhero. Like you have to like put him down gently. Don't just come across the room. Because I mean, honestly, I could see that in the future. There just needs to be solid writing, and I mean, I don't doubt that the actors would like have a good dynamic. I think that the Tom Hardy and Tom Holland could have pretty interesting interactions. I just think, yeah, the writing behind them needs to be like
good,
better
solid.
than the Venom movies. Like the Venom
I
movies,
feel like if it was the Spider-Man writers, like the ones for the MCU,
yeah,
that'd be good.
Like, because yeah, like the Venom movies, like they have funny moments. Like I haven't seen the full Venom Let There Be Carnage because I just don't have any means of watching it right now. But yeah, Sony put the like first like 15 minutes of it like on YouTube, which is like a sixth of the movie, and the scene in the bathroom stall is kind of funny. Like seeing him interact with Venom in that way is sort of funny. So I could see there being like that. There's something there that they could do in the future, but overall, like yeah, like moral of the story: Venom should not be any major part of No Way Home.
I don't think it will
at all.
I have a. What's your guys' favorite Spider-Man movie? The movie.
Okay.
The movie.
I actually
we had to rank them
the other day.
Like the PS4
I actually went on
altogether.
I actually went on this amazing app called Letterboxd, not sponsored. That you guys should definitely get on because it's all about for movie lovers, and it's like you get to rate movies and like review them, and you get to see other people do it. Anyways,
what is it called?
So it's called Letterboxd.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I'm on it, and I got to rank the Spider-Man movies. And did you guys do your rankings? Did you guys rank Spider-Man movies at all?
I haven't. I mean, I know which ones I like. I
guess we can go through mine, and you can see if you agree or disagree. Okay, let me pull up mine.
Start at like the bottom or whatever.
Yeah, I'll start with the dead last. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So starting dead last, Spider-Man 3. Sam Raimi.
Isn't that the one? And I don't know. I think the
what's
second
number 2?
Andrew Garfield one is.
I think that's dead last because when I saw it for the first time, I paused it halfway through and I did not finish it for like a solid month and a half because I knew what was coming next and I was really nervous about it, and I ended up liking it. Like I thought it was good. Like I don't think any of these movies. I mean, I've seen the full Spider-Man 3. Like I think
when you say you took a month and a half to like finish part of it, like how many times have you watched the full thing?
Once.
Okay.
Maybe you should watch it all the way through once. But whatever, it's just
okay. But I saw the movie. I don't dislike any of these movies. There's just certain aspects of it. The way that I rated them was like the parts that I hate outweigh the parts that I really like.
Okay. It's like it's not really like which one is worse. It's just which one do you like?
Yeah. So like for Spider-Man 3, my gripes would be like the way that they did Peter Parker when he got the symbiote suit, like the way that they made him act like Tobey Maguire. Like it's really freaking funny. It's just I feel like Spider-Man would be more brutal. Like he wouldn't just be a dickhead. He would just be like more angry with his villains. And
he
the way that they just threw Venom right at the end just kind of just made no sense. I kind of felt weird about it. Like the way that they kind of just threw Venom at the end. But I did like Sandman. Yeah. That was a high point of the movie was Sandman.
I remember I was just like, I like it. I was like, I watched it as a kid, so I was just like, there's so many villains. This is awesome, just because there's like there's more characters on screen, each equals a better movie. But I don't know. I thought it was all right. I haven't seen the second Andrew Garfield, so that's probably what I would say is the worst one. Just because I've heard it's not that good, and the Green Goblin.
You're gonna be upset at my rankings, though.
The Green Goblin in that one just looks bad, but whatever.
Okay. So then the next one is Amazing Spider-Man, the first one. That's number 7.
Okay.
I thought
what's number 7?
The Amazing Spider-Man, the one with Lizard. I think the low points of the
Okay.
movie for me
Oh, okay. With Andrew.
were
Andrew's first one?
the
Okay,
high
okay.
points of this and the Andrew Garfield movies is the way that Andrew Garfield delivers his quips, because it lands a lot of the
Yeah.
time and it's really funny. And then also the visuals, like the CGI.
Oh, yeah.
The
CGI is really good in those movies.
Oh, they're fantastic. Like the ending shot of him swinging around New York and he like in front of the moon at the very end of the first one is fantastic. And him swinging around catching the rhino is also just really good in the second one. It's just in the low point is Lizard's plan. I feel like just Lizard's plan is really odd to me, and it's thrown in like Cosmonaut Variety Hour talked about the evil robot Jeff Bridges problem. And this suffers from the evil robot Jeff Bridges problem. The next one is Spider-Man 1. Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I put that as the last, or as a sixth, sixth, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's campy, but it's like a good campy. It's just the low points for me are probably visuals, because it came out in 2002, but like other movies that came out in 2002 looked really good. Yeah. And maybe some of the story with how they retconned later on, they retconned that Flint Marko was the one that killed him and not the other guy. So just it kind of just made it.
That's more the third movie's fault.
Yeah, but like I don't know. That's that movie. It doesn't live up to the other two. Like it doesn't live up to it. It's like that one was good, but then Spider-Man 2 knocked that one completely out of the water.
Oh yeah.
But the high point of that movie is Willem Dafoe. Like that is that is the best part of the entire trilogy.
Spider-Man.
The next one, which is number 5, is Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
I mean I liked it.
I liked it. Yeah, it was good.
It was good. My favorite Spider-Man out of all 3 is Tom Holland, because it's more for me it's more comic accurate.
Tom Ballin.
Also because it's a kid and Spider-Man is mainly associated as a child. So I think it's just interesting seeing an actual child play, or an actual like guy who looks like a teenager play a teenager.
Yeah.
And the movies follow like him going from freshman year, sophomore year, senior year, or junior year, and now senior year. And this one brings in one of my favorite points of Spider-Man is his identity. And like the fact that his alter ego gets brought up at the end and it's like it's revealed is a big plot point of Spider-Man. And I thought that was a really good twist. But a low point, probably, I don't really know what a low point would be. I just think that it just didn't live up to the humor in Homecoming. Okay. Homecoming's humor was like, for me, kind of like Superbad, where it was a lot of the editing and it was very coming of age. So this one just felt a little strange. Also, the whole Mary J. MJ love thing just kind of just got thrown in there. And I was like, this is a little strange to me, because he was obsessed with Liz Toombs, and then it's like, oh, Liz is gone. Who's the next female MJ? Like, I don't know. Number 4, this is top 4. So 4 is Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's Paul Giamatti, really funny as Rhino, even though he got like little to no screen time. Dame DeHaan, did not like him as Green Goblin. I did like the fact that I thought they were going to do an ultimate Green Goblin, where it's like this big dragon dude that breathes fire. And I thought that's what they were going to do with this Green Goblin. And then they kind of just didn't. And I felt very strange about it. The music in this movie is a high point.
Yeah.
Like Hans Zimmer's score.
Hans Zimmer's the best movie conductor ever.
Hans Zimmer's score is fantastic. I love it so much. Number 3 is Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah. Because the humor in it is really good. The way that they use like editing in that movie just makes it 10 times funnier. Like my favorite scene is when he steals Flash's car for the final battle, and then like it's Flash freaking out, and then it cuts immediately to Peter crashing into the bike rack and then continuing to drive, and it makes me laugh out loud every time. And also Michael Keaton's Vulture is one of my favorite MCU villains. Yeah. Like he is menacing at all times. Like he is an everyday dude, but like when it comes down to it, he is a sinister man. you know. Next one,
Sinister
number
Six?
two. Number two,
Oh.
Spider-Man 2. Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
All right, yeah.
Because it's like it deals with Spider-Man learning that he can't be Peter Parker and that he has to choose one of the two, like Spider-Man. In order for Spider-Man to win, Peter has to lose. A low point, Mary Jane, MJ. Like, it's just the fact that she's like, now she's like, I'm really in love with you, Peter, and then she's only with J. Jonah Jameson's son to spite Peter and like to make Peter jealous. Just was a little odd to me. But a high point is J. Jonah Jameson as Spider-Man, where he's like towards the end of the film, he's holding up the Spider-Man suit on his wall, and he's like, Spider-Man was a hero. I drove him away. And then he's like about to say something nice about Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man steals the suit. And he's like, he's a criminal. I want him hung up by his webs. And he's like screaming, I want Spider-Man. And then it goes back to the clip of Spider-Man is back. And then Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is fantastic.
Yeah.
But number one best Spider-Man movie, Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
That is my
Spider-Verse
favorite.
is the best Spider-Man movie.
Oh, I thought we were only doing live action ones.
Oh, well,
it
then,
is live action as far as I'm concerned.
It is. I'm doing like
That
the
is
ones
the
that were
best
released
one.
as major motion pictures, which is
okay.
That is absolutely the number one in Spider-Man movie ever.
Because
Spider-Verse is amazing.
it is a love letter to the character. Like
Miles
Spider-Verse
is amazing.
They're introducing Miles. Like, people now know about Miles Morales a lot more because of Spider-Verse.
Yeah, bro.
And they also gave the idea of multiple Spider-Man being in one movie. Because the only other time that it's really been done is the 90s Spider-Man cartoon and Ultimate Spider-Man, where they brought him in like in the 4th season for a brief stint. But I think that this movie just was out of the water.
The
fantastic.
the animation studio killed it. The writing is good. The soundtrack by what's his fucking name? Daniel Pemberton fucking slaps. I can listen to the entire album and play the scenes in my head. I love that movie. The Prowler, amazing. Miles's voice actor, amazing. Like, that entire movie, that's my favorite Spider-Man movie ever. It's absolutely
I love that movie. What is your guys' favorite Spider-Man movies?
I just said it. So
Jesse, what's your favorite Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, I'd have to kind of think just about like
Jesse,
I think the MCU movies, like, they get a lot of shit for a few reasons, but I do like, I will say I really do like Homecoming a lot. Like, that, like, Spider-Verse is easily like the best Spider-Man movie that was made.
Damn straight.
But I do still think, like, in terms of the live action movies, Homecoming has more, because like I watched the Sam Raimi trilogy when I was very little. And Homecoming, I just have more, I guess, more memories of it, I suppose. But yeah, I think I'd have to maybe rank it like Spider-Verse. I did enjoy Far From Home a bit more though. So like Far From Home, then Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, then maybe for the fourth one, maybe the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Number 5.
You're going through and ranking all of them? I just said my favorite one, Jesse.
Well, Alex went through all of them.
Well, because he did an app thing. I'm
thinking
okay,
like maybe like the number.
Yeah, so like because I do have another ranking that I want to say, but you do your rankings.
Yeah, so I think it would probably go maybe Far From Home, Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, Spider-Man 1, then probably I think Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 they're kind of in the same area. Like, the Amazing Spider-Man movies are kind of in the same area I think about with Spider-Man 3, where they have good parts, but as movies, they're just not really that coherent. Or at least the first Amazing Spider-Man movie has kind of like an arc through it, I guess. like, because Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, I'll say, is probably when he's at his best, he's my favorite Spider-Man. And that's because when he's at his best, he feels the most like the character, like in the comics. There's a lot of scenes in the second Amazing Spider-Man where he really embodies what the character is. Like one of my favorite scenes is when like when he swings in to help this kid who's getting like his like school project like destroyed by these like these other kids, like these bullies, and then he like sticks it back together like with his webbing, and he's just like you made this? No way. Like he's being like such like an older brother to him, and then he even says like I'll walk you home, and then when they're walking he's like he tells him his name, and then he is like I think his name is Jorge, and then he says what's your name, and he's like me, oh I'm Spider-Man. Like it's very he has a very casual nature to him as like when he's at his best as Spider-Man. Even when he meets Electro for the first time, he handles it like the best way possible. Like he's very like calm, and he even says to him, he's like, you know, I understand you don't want to be here, you don't want to hurt anyone, you don't want anything to go wrong. Like he's very like he's very calm with his approach, and I think that's the best thing Spider-Man could do in that situation. So yeah, I think like Amazing Spider-Man movies get a lot of shit, but Andrew Garfield, I think honestly deserves another chance at like live action Spider-Man movies.
And I hope they bring him back in No Way Home.
Yeah, because he easily has some of the best moments as Spider-Man. And I think if they're not going to do anything with Tom Holland in the future, maybe give him a call. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So then I wanted to bring this up because the main reason I did a ranking was because this guy named Matt Ramos, also known as Soups, on TikTok and YouTube. He's the guy that did all those videos on Spider-Man No Way Home that I sent you.
Oh my god, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So wait, did he do a rating?
He did a ranking, and it went absolutely viral.
Is this a meme or is this real?
No, this is real. Like he actually did a ranking of Spider-Man. He released it on Twitter, and it went viral to the point that James Gunn criticized his name is Soups.
How do you spell it? Like
Supes, like Superman. His nickname, like Superman's nickname, Soups.
Soups.
Like it's this guy that is a big comic book like nerd, like the rest of us.
Yeah.
He goes to a lot of the premieres.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah. And he did a ranking, and it got so many people like upset, or just it got so much credibility that James Gunn criticized his his.
Wait, so ranking. what was?
So this is his ranking. You ready for this?
Sure.
He has 9 Spider-Man movies on here. Starting at number 9, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
Number 8.
That's his lowest rank.
That's his lowest rank.
Is he insane?
Number 8 is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay.
Number 7.
I'm seeing a pattern.
Number 7 is The Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Okay.
Number 6, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Number 5 is Spider-Man 1.
Okay.
Number 4 is Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Number 3 is Spider-Man 2. Number 2 is Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, then he knows.
And number 1 is Spider-Man No Way Home. Like this guy is a big.
That hasn't even come out.
Wait, he hasn't even come out yet.
Well, because he's like his main reasoning. He did a video on it why he read this ranking. He said number 9 and 8 was the MC ones because of the whole like no stakes, no consequences.
Oh my God.
Argument.
But hey, Jake Gyllenhaal would have just continued. Like he would have been the new Avenger guy. He would be who everyone calls. You know.
I think that movie had some major stakes. Like that
Homecoming
had major stakes.
Doesn't have stakes because it doesn't need any, or it doesn't
it has an amazing lesson of Peter coming into his own as Spider-Man and learning that he has to be independent.
Yeah.
And he has to. The only person that he can really rely on in certain situations is himself.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. This Soups guy is whatever, but at least he knows Into the Spider-Verse is quality.
Yeah.
But
I just love that his first one is a movie that hasn't even aired yet.
Yeah. Like, okay, you can't do that. I don't understand. Like, it's like out. Me saying, like, here, how about this? my
It's like
overall movie
Spider-Man
reference,
2 in 2023 is the best Spider-Man game.
yeah, like the best Marvel movie for me right now is gonna be the Black Knight movie that is obviously gonna come out because I love Kit Harington. Like I can't just say that. I haven't seen it. It could literally just be like an hour and a half of following around Kit Harington, like him just living his life, not even related to Black Knight at all.
Yeah.
Now I'll just be like, yeah, this is my favorite movie.
Yeah. Okay, so then to wrap up our episode, because we've done it for like an hour and a half now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's like an average length for
yeah.
For a
So
podcast.
to wrap up, I think a good thing could be, what is the most anticipated project of Marvel that we are looking towards? It can be Sony's Marvel universe. It can be MCU Marvel.
You guys go first. I want to hear what you guys say
Bailey's is into the Spider-Verse too.
No, you guys.
I mean, I'm not.
You guys go first. You guys go first because I have to think. There's so much I have to think about. So you guys go first.
Yeah, most anticipated like Marvel project.
It can be like there's already promotional stuff for it. There isn't promotional stuff for it.
Agatha Harkness. No,
I'm ending the call right now.
Most anticipated Marvel project. Here's the thing: the fact that I have to look at the list.
This brings back the argument that there's so much
like
stuff.
all the stuff they have planned out. Like MCU movie list 2022. I don't know.
No, like it can be. You can say like Fantastic Four that hasn't even been.
Yeah, that's the best movie so far. Okay, so okay, let me look at the list of this. So I'll say I'm probably really looking forward to the next Thor movie and Multiverse of Madness. Because I think that yeah, Doctor Strange, I'll be honest, I actually did like the first Doctor Strange movie. It is a little like, I've seen people say it's kind of copy and paste from the first Iron Man, which I can understand that. I think it is kind of a interesting introduction to Doctor Strange. He works better as kind of a like when he's in a movie with someone else. But I think maybe with Multiverse of Madness, maybe it'll be like him and Scarlet Witch, which could be pretty cool. And I'd love to see. I don't know if they've confirmed who like the villain is for the movie, but I'd love to see someone like Nightmare be the villain.
I think it's Mordo, because Mordo is in the movie.
Mordo could still be part of he was in the first movie. And I don't know. I think Nightmare, if they got someone like Mark Hamill to voice Nightmare, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty.
I think the Multiverse of Madness just has a lot of potential moving forward. And Thor Love and Thunder, I think could be a pretty fun movie. If it's anything like Ragnarok, I think it could be a pretty fun movie to watch. So yeah.
Nice. All right, Alex.
I'll go next. All right. I have 3 projects that I'm really excited for. The most anticipated projects I have are freshman year. So Spider-Man freshman year, because this is the origin story of Peter Parker, or the MCU Spider-Man. And we haven't really gotten any indication of his origin, other than like a short quip in Homecoming, and then a short line about Uncle Ben in the What If show, which I'm pretty sure like most of the fandom hasn't seen. Because there's only like the niche people that see it are like veterans or like diehard fans, and most people are like, I don't want to pay money just to see MCU shows. Like I'll just learn about it any other time.
Because even in the No Way Home trailer, he like mentions the like ever since he was like bitten by that spider line. So
so I think I think the show will be a good way to introduce Peter Parker's like origin story, and maybe show him fighting some low-level criminal. Like I don't know who is a low-level criminal. Jesse's a bigger Spider-Man fan than I am.
So honestly, it's hard for me to even think of one.
Maybe no one like big, like Vulture.
He can't be fighting like Tombstone or anything like that.
Yeah, like he wouldn't be fighting Kingpin. Like it'd be like him saving a bus, or like him trying to be like his heroes, because he idolizes the Avengers. So maybe it's him trying to do what the Avengers did. because that's a big part of Homecoming is him doing stuff that Iron Man would do.
So freshman year,
Moon Knight is something I'm also very interested in because it is a Jewish schizophrenic superhero that I'm super excited about. It is about, if you don't know, Moon Knight is about this guy.
I know who Moon Knight is.
Yeah. So Moon Knight, Jesse, you know who Moon Knight is?
Yeah.
Then for our viewers, Moon Knight is this character.
I think our viewers know who Moon Knight. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. Moon Knight is this guy who like he has a split personality, and his other personality is this like Egyptian god.
Yeah,
or
the
something.
moon god or something.
And I kind of think of him as like a Marvel Batman, which I am really excited to see. Like,
but he's in LA.
Yeah, I think the closest thing to a Marvel Batman is Daredevil. But
I think people have called Moon Knight like White Batman. I'm like, what?
What? But that's my second favorite.
Third.
My last most anticipated thing that I'm probably really excited for is I think Multiverse of Madness. I will have to say because originally the plan was it was going to be a trilogy between Multiverse of Madness. No, wait, it's not Multiverse of Madness. Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, because Jonathan Majors is making his big debut as Kang the Conqueror in that movie.
Oh yeah.
And there was a set leak of him as the Western version of Kang. And I'm really excited to see what they do with it. And also they're introducing Cassie Lang possibly in her suit as, I forget what her character name is.
Shrink?
But it's not Shrink. It's oh my god, it's gonna eat at me till I figure it out. But she becomes part of the new Avengers, and I feel like what they're doing in the Phase 4 is setting up characters for the new Avengers, like Wanda's kids, Elijah Bradley, Kate Bishop. Like what they're doing kind of is setting up a young Avengers.
Is it Stature? Is that her name?
Stature.
Yeah. And
I'm really excited to see what they do with Kang the Conqueror and Cassie. And also just see Scott again, because Ant-Man movies are really funny. They just kind of have fallen short.
Yeah.
And I feel like, pun intended, and I feel like these movies, I feel like this one will be a big step in the right direction for the for the Ant-Man.
Yeah. Can I just say, I love the progression of villains in the Ant-Man movies. You've got Yellow Jacket, Ghost, and then you got Kang.
Yeah, dude,
it just really
interdimensional threat.
Yeah. It's just small scale, like sort of small scale, kind of small scale, literal dimensional god.
Like it's a real step in the wrong direction, and I cannot wait to see what happens. What about you, Bailey? What are you most excited about?
I've been thinking about. I really just want to see more of Kit Harington as Blade, or not as Blade, as Black Knight. Like, I'm so excited because I loved him in Game of Thrones, and I'm so excited to see him do his thing as a Marvel character. Like, I want to see him do stuff either with Eternals, or if Blade really is in that thing or whatever. I just want to see more Kit Harington. And then I would love it if the same studio who did Into the Spider-Verse did their other movie, which is supposed to be about Spider-Gwen, because she was at the end, at the end of Into the Spider-Verse.
Right.
Where she's like, "Hey, Peter," or not Peter, "Hey, Miles." And then and then the portal opens up again. So it's like, I'm totally down for more Into the Spider-Verse, and I just want to see more Kit Harington.
All right.
And also the video game, it cannot come out soon enough.
It's the best video game out there.
I hope I get a PS4 at some point so that I can.
It's going to be on the PS5. It's going to be on the PS5.
No, I mean to play the original.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
And then I want to get a PS5 to play.
Yeah, don't play the remastered. It's got weird baby face.
No, yeah, I don't want to get Tom Holland baby face. I want to get the original.
The original guy.
Yeah. But with that, let's sign off. So thank you for listening to this episode of Homies Inc. You can find us on Twitter, on YouTube, not on Instagram. I thought we were on Instagram last time, and turns out we are not. So not on Instagram.
False
but you can find us on Twitter, YouTube. You can listen to us wherever you want. SoundCloud. I'm pretty sure we're on SoundCloud. Anchor. Spotify. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can find your favorite podcasts. We hopefully are going to try to release stuff a little more consistently. Probably not every week because we're in college.
Yeah,
and it's extremely difficult.
But again, sometime soon. Maybe when we're all back in SD, or maybe
beforehand. Maybe Winter Break Edition, and we can talk about DC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe in a year.
Maybe not. We're not going to do another year hiatus. I can't do another year hiatus.
No. If we do another year hiatus, it might die.
It's a cinematic event. Homies Inc. releasing something new. But we beat the other Homies Inc.
premiere date. Yeah.
Yep. Release little teasers.
Remember to put those disclaimers at the beginning, because
so many
movies.
I'm gonna put those disclaimers at the beginning.
Title this podcast "Spider-Man into the Spoilerverse."
I love that.
That'd be amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down after I end this recording. But wait, say that again.
Spider-Man into the Spoilerverse.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Because we just jumped straight in.
I love that. Okay, into the Spoilerverse. Okay, so to finally end the end of an era episode, I'm Alex.
I'm Bailey.
And I'm Alex.
Again.
I'm Jesse.
And thank you for listening to Homies Inc. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Homies Inc. podcast. If you don't know where to find us on social media, no need to worry. You can find us on Twitter at Homies Inc. Cast. You can also find us on YouTube at Homies Inc. Podcast, where we upload all of our episodes so you can find an archive of our annoying voices. You can also find us on wherever you listen to your podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Overcast, Google Podcasts, I'm pretty sure, and Anchor, because they distribute us. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Homies Inc. We'll see you next time.